Okay, so you want to obtain a sample to estimate a population mean. Based on previous evidence, you believe the population standard deviation is approximately 47.2. You would like to be 98% confident that your estimate is within 1. How large of a sample is required? Okay, so what's different about this one? Well, notice they're using the word mean. Mean. So we're going to go down then and we're going to, let's go find it, grab the formula with the mean. It's this one. It's going to be this formula. This is the exam 3 notes. So from the exam 3 notes, I'm going to grab the mean formula. So I'm going to use that one. So notice that one has a little different setup. Do you see that? See how the power 2 is on the outside of the whole parentheses? Instead of like the other 2 formulas, see how the 2 power is on the Z or on the E, on the Z or on the E. It's on the individual letters, right? You see that difference? Whereas for the mean formula we're about to use, the 2 power is on the outside of the parentheses, meaning the whole thing is to the 2nd power, not just 1 or 2 of the individual letters. Okay, so let's make sure we're faithful to that. So ZS over E squared. So here we go. Let's write that formula. N equals Z S over E, the whole thing squared. That's the mean formula for mean. Okay, so we start off exactly the same though. You know, we've got to do second, and we've got to go to vars, which has distribution above it. Second vars, get inverse norm on our calculator. And if you have the old style, then that's going to be parenthesis, parenthesis, inside 1 minus the confidence level divided by 2, comma 0, comma 1. For me, the confidence level is 98.98. Or if you have the newer style, it's going to be what? Area, mu, and sigma. And your area then will be parenthesis 1 minus the confidence level divided by 2. Again, minus 0.98, 0, and 1. So however you do it, the same step number 1. And then step number 2, now is where things are going to be a little different on step number 2. Here we got one more room. Step number 2, you're going to have to begin with a parenthesis, right? Because of that parenthesis right there. And then hit second answer. What answer? You're grabbing the Z, which is what we just did, right? The inverse norm is the Z. I hope you know that. Whenever the formulas refer to Z, the Z value, they're referring to what we got from the inverse norm. So go second answer. That's the Z. That's the thing we just calculated. So we're grabbing the answer we just got, which is the inverse norm answer, which is the Z, times S. Now, what is the S? Standard deviation. This is your S. So I'll say S, which for me is 47.2. So time, right? You don't need these little inner parentheses. That really just means times. Let me just write it that way. It just means times S. That's all it means. Times S divided by E. That's always the within, right? Divided by the E. That's the within. And notice on the within, the air, there's no percent symbol. It's not 1%, which is 0.01. It's just 1, it's just plain 1. It's just plane 1. So everybody see that? This is a little different, right? We're used to the other ones where the error was a percentage. And so we would move the decimal 2 places, was what you always do with a percent, right? If they gave us 1%, we would make it 0.01. But it's not 1%, right? Look at it closely. It doesn't say 1%. It just says 1. It's straight up 1. So just plug in straight up 1.
Mr. Heron, do you have to close your parentheses after the F's?
Yeah, exactly. Good. Then close your parenthesis. You do, you have to. And then go to the power, the whole thing, to the second power and hit enter. Exactly. That's exactly what you need to do. So I'm going to do it also on my calculator, then I'll show it as well. But those are the exact buttons. I promise, if you follow those exact buttons, it will work. I'm getting a gigantic answer. I'm getting n equals 12,056.83. And remember, we always round up, don't we? So round up, so it'll be 12,057. So we need to talk to 12,057 people in order to get the kind of accuracy we need. Let me share it on my calculator screen here. All right, so second vars, go down to inverse norm. For mine, it's going to be parenthesis, what I have, 1 minus 0.98. 8 parenthesis divided by 2. So, and then the 0 and the 1 are already there. Boom, there it is. I got negative 2.32, blah, blah, blah. Now, here we go. Let me clear that and show you so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go parenthesis, right? The parenthesis comes first. Second answer times my S. What was my S value? 47.2. 47.2. Divided by my E, which is a plain 1, not 0.01. It wasn't a 1%, just 1. Close the parenthesis. That's important. Like that was a great question. That's very important. You got to close that parenthesis. Everybody see that? Open and close parenthesis to the second power, enter. There it is. As I said, 12,056.83 rounds up to 12,057. Back to my iPad screen. There it is. So those exact buttons will work. There's what you want to press.